All right, what's happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out channel. I got a special guest today. I got my boy Adil. Adil, how you doing,
Hi,
man?
hi. I'm good. I'm good. It's good to see you. Thanks for
You,
having me.
you too, bro. No worries, man. Thank you for coming on. I mean, obviously we met in Singapore on the jiu-jitsu
Yeah,
mat at Evolve MMA, and
yeah,
used to like
yeah,
strangle me all the time and whatnot. But
yeah.
But yeah, that's how we
Well,
met.
yeah,
I mean, we'll get into it in a bit, but one thing is your artwork, which is why I was
yeah.
like, let's catch up. But in general, how you doing though, man? How's everything in Singapore? I saw actually, first of all, congratulations on your brown belt in jiu-jitsu. That's
Oh,
amazing.
thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, I've been at Evolve for like 8 years, I think. It's about there.
Wow, okay.
So yeah, I haven't done. I mean, that's one of the first. I would say the first sports I'm really serious about. And I mean, back then, I maybe soccer and all that when I was a child and all that. But I haven't really done anything physical or even like, you know, have a something of a hobby of myself, like a physical hobby, other than the art and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't really stick to one thing for that long. So 8 years and
That's
yeah,
awesome,
I
man.
got my brown
Well,
belt.
that's listen, man. I mean, and it looks like it looks like you're moving on your way to black belt and obviously a commitment for life. If you're saying that you didn't stick
Yeah.
into a sport for so long, what kept you attracted to martial arts and jiu-jitsu for you to be doing it for this long?
Yeah, firstly, I'm kind of an introvert, if you can tell. I mean, the things I do, like art and all that kind of stuff, is more like a loner kind of thing. Yeah, I'm a bit awkward with like people and like big groups and all that. So I tend to gravitate towards things that's like I just do on my own. So I'm not really big into team sports like soccer and all that. I mean, I do play once in a while, but it's like being dependent on your teammates or your teammates depending on you. It's not really. I mean, I don't really function well with that. So if you think about MMA, grappling, BJJ, and Muay Thai and all that, it's mostly you on the spot. Whatever it is, your teammates and all that. But when it comes down to it, you solo. Whatever happens, it's just you. Like I mean, you can blame yourself and all that kind of thing. So it's kind of it fits me very well. So I don't know. I just fall into BJJ one day. Like I was like down on my luck and all that. I was having some issues with my life and all that. So I was thinking, one day I just passed by this BJJ gym. Evolve was already a thing back then, but it's something like I always see it as something other people do. It's not me. So one day I was just thinking, like, why don't I just get on that? Like since I watch UFC and all that, and I like why not me? I just stepped in one day and did one of the class and I just signed up straight away and it was 8 years ago.
Wow,
Yeah,
awesome, man.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
interesting to say that. I mean, you're an introvert, because I believe I'm an introvert too. I'm similar. I'm very
yeah,
awkward around crowds. I hate,
yeah.
especially like work events. I hate them because I just hate
Yeah,
having
I hate
conversations.
work functions and all
Yeah,
that.
unless someone wants to talk to me about either martial arts or comic book stuff, then we can have a
Yeah,
conversation all
yeah,
day. But if you,
yeah, yeah,
with general conversations, I'm awkward as well. But it's interesting that you say that you're an introvert and then you found martial arts because I agree, it's all dependent on yourself and whatnot. But you do end up
yeah,
communicating with partners, with training
yeah,
partners. You build up that
yeah,
relationship with every like the people that you
yeah,
train with, the coaches.
yeah,
So in a way, I mean, it's amazing that you found it and you can still be. That's what I love about martial arts because I think you could still be yourself. You don't have to change,
yeah,
but
right.
it does get you outside your comfort zone a little bit because you are
Yeah,
communicating with people.
it's weird. It's like BJJ is where I feel most relaxed. I mean, people are strangling you or trying to break your limbs and where bends where you're not supposed to bend. But somehow it's like, you focus on that. Anything else going along in your life and all that, it just kind of fades away for that few hours and all that. So yeah, I don't know. It just feels relaxing for me.
Yeah,
Like
that's awesome.
I I mean, not counting competitions and all that where that's so stressful and not so fun, I think. But yeah, I think on the mats is like where I feel comfortable with even people I don't, just I don't know, we don't need to talk about anything else. You just there, you and the guy or your training partners, and just go through it.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Yeah.
communicating through movement, right? Even though you're strangling each other and whatnot, but you're communicating through technique
Yeah.
and adjustment of movement and hip alignment and all that sort of stuff. It's
Yeah.
all like
A-
language, right? It's communicating.
Yeah, and I don't take it seriously. Like I don't try to win all the time. I still have a laugh even on the mats rolling. Like it's kind of fun. Like you don't try to. I don't know what I don't know. Some people are trying to really. I don't know if they can't get the submission. They try to take off your head or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
I'll
mean,
just
I would
yeah.
have
We,
to
we can
say
have a
that.
chat during rolling.
Yeah, well, that's it. But I have to say, like you were always one of the fun people to train with, right? From my
Thanks,
experience,
man.
because no, but based on what you were just saying, like you trained with control, even though you killed me all the time, but it was always controlled. It was never
No,
like
man.
yeah, and I was ever like trying to kill me, and that's what happens a lot of times. I guess beginners go through that a lot, but you do get some people
Yeah, yeah.
who are on higher level belt who should have the control who tend to go crazy,
Yeah, they
especially
tend to
if
chill out a bit.
yeah, especially if maybe you get a submission on them or you get a position on them, they just like
Yeah,
they lose it, right? And they just go crazy. And that's
yeah,
where, me being a small guy, I've been injured so much. Like my shoulder. Do you remember I had that shoulder injury when I was
yeah,
training? I
yeah,
still
yeah,
got it. I
yeah,
still got it, and I'm still going through the problems. I'm still trying to resolve it. And that was through training as well. But no, you were always awesome to train with, man, because I knew training
yeah,
with you, I'm not gonna get injured. We're gonna flow, we're gonna roll. And yeah, you're gonna
yeah.
catch me a few times, which is a part of the training, and I was always cool with that.
But the thing is, wait, how heavy are you, or like how light are you?
I'm 58, 57, 58. I hover between
Yeah,
that kgs.
yeah, I can tell because like picking you up is kind of easy. And just I don't know. So I had to really control it, like especially MMA. When we do MMA, it's you can't really go too too slow on it. Because
Yeah.
you gotta have the speed and all that. MMA is a bit different than grappling and Muay Thai, where you can kind of slow it down, but MMA is like you gotta go a bit rougher than what you
Yeah.
used to.
I mean,
Yeah,
that class we used to do with Eddie. I mean, Eddie, first of all, was a brilliant coach. I used to
yeah,
love
yeah,
doing his MMA classes and whatnot. But yeah, with the MMA and even wrestling, the pace that we used to put on those two classes specifically were tough.
yeah,
I mean, that's why I injured the shoulder. It was through wrestling, and it was a
yeah,
bigger guy. I mean, I'm not gonna
yeah.
name names of it, but he was massive, so he was able to just pick me up and throw me. And one day he just
Uh,
just threw me, and I landed on my shoulder, and that was like
uh,
nearly 2.5 months ago. And then that next week, the week after that, so that day I had to stop training immediately, and that was just during the bloody warm up, right? I had to stop
oh,
training, and then a week later, I had bad luck. I got knocked off my bike, and that just made things worse, basically. And ever since then, my
yeah. You
shoulders,
told me that. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, I think
Yeah.
I'm on the final stretches of recovery. To be honest, I didn't get it checked out because I'm stupid like that, and I had too much things going
Oh
on.
man.
But I'm on the final stages. I finally got mobility, but there is a little bit of pain still here. But I've got full
Uh,
mobility. Great. I just need
did,
to
did
focus.
anything get torn or anything like
I
your
don't think, look,
ligaments?
the truth is, I never got it checked out. However, I did YouTube it and whatnot. And YouTube does,
Yeah,
they said, like,
that's
if
the
you're,
way.
yeah, they say if you're in agony pain, then you've tore something. But if you're not in pain
Right.
and you have mobility and you have a little bit of pain, then it's not likely that you've done a full tour. You maybe done a
Yeah,
grade
right.
one tear or something. But I wasn't in agony, but I just didn't have like full strength and full mobility. But now I do. So hopefully it should be cool.
Good to know that.
It's just a bit
Yeah, yeah.
painful. But I'll get back into jiu-jitsu. I'm going back to the UK on Sunday, and then once I come back,
All right.
then I'll
Yeah.
find a good school out here and get back into it.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
remember you used to train hard. I mean, Saturday. I mean, I know I don't know how many days a week you train, but I remember Saturdays you used to do like 5, 6 hours, and I used to be like and
Yeah.
finish with MMA and wrestling, which were especially wrestling, which was the worst thing ever. I hated
Yeah.
wrestling, which is why I kept on
Yeah.
going to it because it was so
I
bad.
That's why
But
whenever I'm always asking you whether you're going. If you're going, I'll go. If I see, because wrestling is I think one the tougher guys, that corner where Eddie's guys are.
the
Yeah,
competition guys,
they're the
yeah.
ones doing. Yeah. So if I get lumped in with them and all that, is gonna be a hard day for me. So I
Wrestling,
don't know.
man, wrestling. What you were there, right? When Eddie broke me, was you there? Like what that session where he broke me mentally? I was trying to run off the
Yeah.
mats.
I,
I
you,
always think about that, man. I'm still very embarrassed by it, by that situation, but it helped me so much. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, because he
yeah.
broke me mentally and I tried to run off them. I was running off the mats. I was going to run out of the gym, but that helped me so much to overcome like the fear of pressure. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
because he just keeps you down. If you try to get up, it's just I think it's more tiring trying to get up than just laying there. So
yeah,
he's kind of doing some submissions where you tap and you just let go and do the next submission.
he
That's
carries on. I
what he
mean,
does.
he submits you with pressure. I think his submission, like the whole purpose of that
Yeah,
training, is to submit your mind, right? To
yeah,
break you.
yeah,
So he'll get the submission, you tap, he
yeah,
lets go, but he doesn't release the pressure. Whereas in like
yeah,
BJJ, for example, or any other training, you
yeah.
get tapped
Just
hard, he
reset.
slapped hands, you're like, all right,
Yeah.
cool. But no, like this was all right. I'm not stopping the pressure. You can't just tap to get out of it. And it was
Yeah.
one of the most valuable lessons I could take away
it,
from
it
Evolve.
he's just crushing your chest, and I mean you're not gonna die or anything, but you kind of like surrender to it and like, oh, I suck at this. And
Yeah.
yeah, and you gotta learn to like, I don't know, not stay calm, but like you have to think this is not the end of it. You still have to fight through this. I think that psychological break that he does, that he wants you to overcome. I think that's the good thing about his training and all that.
100% I
Yeah,
agree. That's what he did
yeah,
to me. 100% he did to me. He broke me. I felt so embarrassed on that day. I remember the next week I said, I need to that whole week, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I kept on thinking about it and I kept on telling myself,
yeah,
next week you gotta take Eddie. You gotta spar with Eddie. You have to go through again. So the next
yeah,
week came, I
yeah.
said, Eddie, you need to spar with me. And so he done the same thing. And
Oh,
this
you're the
time
one
I
who.
was I had to, man, because I was so embarrassed that he broke me and I was literally running out the gym and I felt so
Yeah.
embarrassed, man. I just felt so like weak. And I was like, nah, it's like I challenged him the next week just to overcome it. And
Ah,
I remember like what he helped me with is like just as we're training, as we're rolling, I'm just telling myself, let's go, let's go. Like, even though I'm dying, I'm out of breath, I
yeah,
kept on
yeah,
saying, let's go, let's go, let's go. But it
yeah,
helped me because it helped me understand something about breathing as well because
yeah,
what I realized that helped me was exhaling out but like hard,
yeah,
so as I'm getting crushed and whatnot, just like releasing the breath helped me a lot, if that makes sense. So as I
yeah,
was
yeah,
talking to myself, because I'll literally talk to Eddie as we're doing, but the talking is helping me breathe out, if that makes sense. So
yeah.
for me, he taught me like to overcome, but also I've got this process where I need to talk to myself while we're training, while I'm getting killed, talk to myself, tell myself, G, let's go, G, let's go, let's go.
Yeah,
And also
yeah,
exhaling my breath. So I'm constantly like, because I can get that whatever breath it is, just get it out and then breathe in.
yeah.
So
Oh,
he taught me a lot, man. And that's something that's gonna stay with me forever, I hope.
yeah. I tried that, but the thing is, you breathe out, but you can't breathe in because he's on your chest. Is your lungs will go down, but it won't expand it back up. But I mean, you still can survive, but that is hard to do. Yeah,
Yeah, no, he gave me one of the, I mean,
yeah,
honestly, I got my purple belt as well, just after that as well. And I have serious imposter syndrome, but I'm glad
yeah,
he
yeah,
broke me before I got my purple belt because honestly, like during my whole blue belt,
Yeah.
like not career, I was gonna say career, but my journey, I was rubbish, man. I had this mental block where I just couldn't roll properly because I kept on panicking and
Yeah,
whatnot.
right,
And then I was
right.
just like, I don't deserve my purple belt at all. And I haven't competed in BJJ and stuff. I've competed in like striking back in the days, but I've never
Yeah,
competed in grappling or anything. And I had this serious imposter syndrome. Like, I don't want this purple belt. I had so many conversations with Professor Karika, and
yeah,
you know, obviously the coaches believed in me and whatnot. But I'm so happy that Eddie broke me before this, because when I got into
yeah.
my
I
purple belt, it's
understand.
like I felt like, okay, I overcame what Eddie put me through, and now I could go into this purple belt journey like more confident, you know, and being able to
Yeah.
roll better and whatnot. So, you know,
It's funny you say that because he kind of broke me even when I was a purple belt. But after that session, he told me, I think you should give up your purple belt and all that. Like,
did he
I
say
mean,
that?
he was joking, but like I felt like, oh damn, maybe I should give it back. 'Cause- Yeah, because well, I think BJJ doesn't really translate everything 100% in MMA, but it's still like, oh man, do I really deserve it? And even getting that brown belt last week, yeah, yeah, that imposter syndrome doesn't go away even after 8 years. It's still
Yeah.
like, yeah, I know, the instructors would say they see something you don't really see, because maybe you feel it, you feel like you don't deserve it, but they see something in you, so you gotta respect that. And I think that's what they see. So it still feel like, do I really deserve it? And is it just an attendance thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I
So
mean, I think that's
yeah,
a part of it, though. I mean, I don't. I think everyone's on their own. I mean, because this is what I had to justify to myself. I mean, I still have my
yeah,
imposter syndrome, but the way I justified it to myself is the level of like commitment and just always coming back. Like when I got smashed by Eddie and I got broken, the coming back to the mats and saying, all right, let's try again. Like when I get smashed by all of you guys, which I do every session, it's like coming back. So like the way I justified it is for me was like, I'm coming back. Like no matter how much I'm gonna get smashed, it's my commitment of coming back on the mat and getting
yeah,
smashed and then coming back again. I don't think I'll
yeah,
be.
yeah,
I don't think I'm gonna be. Honestly, I'll probably be one of those because I do want to eventually get to black belt. I mean, that's not the goal. I'm not really a believer in belts, but I want to carry on training forever. But I will be one of those guys who just gets smashed by a purple belt. If I'm a black belt, I know I will be, but I'm
yeah,
gonna get that out of my head.
yeah,
I think one good thing
yeah,
about
yeah,
jiu-jitsu and that a lot of coaches teach you is like just get that ego out of your head. You know, some
yeah,
people on
yeah,
different journeys, some people want to be world champions, some people are
yeah,
going to be this, your level is going to be this. It's just about a continuation of training. And end of the day as
yeah.
well, like I got into it for self-defense. And you know, I don't want to
Right.
be too confident, but I feel very confident now on the streets that if I was to get
Yeah,
into an altercation with someone who doesn't know jiu-jitsu, but they're bigger than me, if I could just get them to the
yeah.
floor, I'm sure I could choke them out. So
Just
that's
pull
the
guard.
benefit. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the benefit of it. But
Yeah, I
yeah, I
think
think
yeah, one thing about maybe we can talk about the art later, but one thing about BJJ is like or martial arts in general, like I think people think they give you confidence to fight back, but to me it just gives you the confidence to know that you can fight, or you can just walk away.
yes, yes,
Walking
yes,
away is
yes.
usually the best, but
Agreed.
I think it just gives you the confidence to just handle the situation, like I think if somebody is ill trained, or they have this delusion that they can win, or the fight will go their way, but that's where they start to panic and just wildly, like I think that's the problem with some of the police situation in the US. Like they are poorly trained, and they,
Mm,
whatever happens, they just whip out the guns and things go badly. So I
yeah.
think having trained properly will give you the confidence to know you can handle the situation without getting into physical alteration and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
agreed. I agree. I think the best martial art teachers and instructors will tell you the best fight is to walk away,
yeah,
like to avoid the
yeah,
fight. That's the best way for you to handle it. Walk away, check your own
yeah,
ego. and just walk away from the situation. And if you needed to do self-defense, then you have the ability. I mean, I agree with that, man. Just growing up where I grew up in London, and just being a small little Asian kid, I used to get beaten up and robbed all the time. But once I started martial arts, like I started with Shaolin Kung Fu, but even though just starting with that, like my instructor used to do BJJ as well. My Kung Fu instructor used to do BJJ as well. So he used to teach us a little bit of everything before I got into proper BJJ. But it helped me with my confidence. I started walking the streets a bit more confidently, you know? And really, after I started martial arts, I never got into any altercations. Touch wood, it'll never happen. But I got, you know, and also I'm a lot more like, I hate conflict. I hate conflict in any sort of way.
So same.
I agree. I mean, the best thing is to walk away and just check your own ego and just know that, you know, I have the ability to defend myself, but I'm not gonna get into the altercations. Well, to get into your artwork, man, because I wanted to ask you to kind of like transition into that. Your artwork is very, very creative. I mean, that's what comes to mind when I look at it. I mean, yes, it's very detailed and amazing colors and whatnot, but what comes to mind is creativity. Do you think there's a correlation between your jiu-jitsu and martial arts and the creativity there with your artwork, or do you think they're two separate entities?
Firstly, I just thank you for the compliments. I still can't take compliments. I feel so uncomfortable when people say.
You deserve it,
okay, is there any link between? I think so. I think maybe it's the way my mind works, because I'm never good at remembering numbers, dates, and all that. But you give me something visual to look at, like to understand something. It's especially maths and all that. I think I function better with graphs, like things that I can see instead of things going on in my mind. So I think it's the same as BJJ and all that kind of stuff, like martial arts and all that. Because I can see, I can feel it. It's tactile, you know. You can kind of know it's not all in your mind trying to imagine and stuff. So I guess it's visually it has a link, I think. Yeah, because I can draw. I mean, I don't think it's a natural you're born naturally with it. I think it's same as martial arts. You have to practice. There's no shortcuts to it. Just practice. You're not, if you're born with like talent or anything, you can't just go along with that. You still have to put in your work. Yeah, like drawings. I it's not like I'll put it this way. I think as kids, all of us draws, right? Like we just take crayons and all that. I think I'm the one of the few. I mean, normally artists are people who don't stop drawing. I mean, when you start to work and education and all that, you go to school, people think it's silly to draw and all that. But I think artists just continue to do it because they love it. I don't want to call myself an artist because I don't do it professionally. I still have a day job and all that kind of stuff. I love to do it as a hobby, but I just keep doing it, you know?
So, I mean, I would have to disagree and say I do think you're an artist in your own way, just because even though you don't get paid for it, it's not your job. You're an artist.
I'm comfortable.
You're an artist with, you know, with drawing and painting and whatnot, but you're an artist in martial arts. I mean, I'm just gonna like hold up my phone and do check out what's your Instagram handle, bro? What's your Instagram handle? Adil AIDEEL 42. Please check it out and do look at the artwork yourself. But like, I don't know if you can see this. But again, the details and the creativity, and you have like different, like each art piece has a different, like a story behind it, which I love. And then the colors, I mean, the digital art, so the pencil art that you do is amazing. It's very detailed. And then the digital art, again, it's just, again, creativity comes to mind. Like again, do you, when you're drawing one of these pieces, are you inspired by something? Do you have a story in your head that you're like, oh, this is a story in my head, I'm going to put it down on paper?
Yeah, normally it's just the story itself. Like one of my dreams is to have like a picture book, like a um maybe no, I suck at writing. I'm not a good writer or anything, but if I can tell stories just by a single image, then I think that's mission accomplished to me. So if I have a series of images that links into one big story, then that's my dream of doing it. But right now it's like whatever comes to mind. I would say, am I inspired? Lately, I've been inspired by my dreams. It's funny because I would wake up and straight away try to sketch out or take notes on something I dreamt, if I can remember them. Normally, you try to remember something and it just goes away. And it's
Yeah.
once you remember one image and you kind of remember everything. So that's what I've been trying to do. But the others is like the inspiration just, I don't know, just comes. It's either it's something deep that you're thinking about, or you're trying to convey an idea that something inside you, but you don't really know how to, instead of putting a post where you ramble on something, but maybe I can draw something and just it's up to someone to interpret it, or it's just a personal piece of mine, or maybe it's something like cool or whatever. Like I like to draw cats because cats are cute. So just just something like that. It's I just do it whatever I love to do.
Also, when did at what
Yeah.
age did you know that you had a talent for this, like you were good at this? Because there must have been
Oh,
when
never.
but no, but there must have been someone when you were in school or someone that looked at your work and was like, holy crap, this is good. I mean, you made an
Okay.
interesting point earlier, just real quick. You said, even though you got the talent, you still got to work on it. I mean, Khabib,
Yeah.
the MMA fighter, recently said something, and a lot of
Yeah.
people said this. Talented people generally in talented people in the specific generally are lazy just because they rely on their talent, but it's so
Yeah.
important to be working even hard because you can elevate that
Yeah.
talent. So it's great that you
Yeah.
did that. But yeah, when did someone must have told you as a kid, teacher, a school friend, to be
Yeah.
like, your work's bloody good, man.
Yeah. Um, I specifically remember my first day in kindergarten, which is 4 years old. What? How? I don't know
Wow,
how.
okay.
Yeah, I remember the first day, like really clear in my mind. I come in, my parents drop me off, and I see all the kids crying, and I'm the only person like, what the fuck is everyone's crying about? And some of the parents are out in the window still waving at them, while my parents are back at home. They just left me. So, and then there was what's that called? A playtime? Is that a playtime or something?
Yeah,
There's Legos and all that. So I saw outside the window there was like a watercolor painting. Oh, they set it up for you to draw. So I'm the first to be there, and I see like different colors, right? So first thing I drew is Ninja Turtles. If
nice.
wait, how old are you actually?
I'm old as well, man. I'm 37. So are we in the same age
Okay,
group?
so yeah, exactly the same.
Okay,
So
perfect.
yeah, back then it was a big thing, Ninja Turtles. So I drew like the whole squad with Splinter and all that kind of
Nice.
stuff. Yeah, and the teacher said, this is nice. And she pinned it up. And I guess that's my first like sort of compliment or recognition of my work, my drawings or
It's
whatever.
amazing that you remember that, man. I mean, the fact that
I
you remember
remember
that from
that.
that age and it all these
Yeah,
years.
because
Yeah.
because after that she told me you should be in art school or something like that.
Oh,
So I went
wow.
home and I told my mom, oh, the teacher said I should be in art school. Then my mom was like, there's no art school. You just go to school and do art and as a subject and all that. So I was like kind of disheartened a bit. Like, oh, I thought it's just a school doing drawings and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was my first experience. And in school, I didn't I mean, I was doing okay. I didn't do well and art classes are terrible for me because they make you do things like that they want you to do, you know. Oh, this for the exam you have to do the batik printings and all that, which I kind of hate. And I didn't do well for that because it's not, I don't really like to do that.
Mm.
So yeah, I didn't go to art school. I went to architecture school, uh, polytechnic, and also that's not something you can just do whatever you want, you know. So yeah, only lately have I been just just doing what I want. I mean, I got time when when I start to work, I got time and resources to like, you know, sketch and lately I've been doing on iPad and all that, digital ones, which is way easier. You can carry it around and all that. So just lately I've been trying to pump up all this just consistency, you know, and
Yeah.
the I just got on Instagram, so I don't have much like followers or anything, but I just put it up. It's just for my personal use.
No, but I
Yeah.
think it's great that you got Instagram, and I was gonna ask that because you've only got like 45 on there, and you just recently jumped on there. But it's
Yeah.
good for you to get your work out there because again, I knew you from jujitsu and that, but I had no idea that there was this whole separate talent that you got in this
Uh,
artwork. So I mean,
well,
I think carry that on. I mean, it's amazing that you should carry it on. I was
yeah. I'll show you like some early stuff. This is all yellow paper already.
old school
This
stuff.
I think this was I guess it's I think it was in the army in 2005 or something like that. Like I don't know. Oh, it's all falling apart. Sorry. Yeah, it's like I don't know if you can see all this.
That's awesome. Is that Wolverine?
Wait, is that
No.
Iron Man? That's
The
Iron
Iron
Man
Man,
or
yeah, okay,
something.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's like Scarecrow and I think that's Scarecrow, right?
Oh, it's awesome, yeah.
Yeah,
Your art reminds
I
me of
mean,
my uncle's art, and maybe I need to share some with you because he's he's more of a
yeah.
pencil person and he's very detail orientated, like very like he would when he would draw a human, he would try to draw all the hairs on their head and everything. Like he's very detail
Ah,
or
yeah.
so
Oh,
your one
I don't
your
have the patience for that.
well no, but you do, man. I'm just looking at your artwork now and what you just showed me, like you've
Yeah.
got these very like all the details and all the little marks, which is
Ah,
awesome.
yeah. I love your brother's art too. He's been doing that. I think he did a series of X-Men characters and
For
yeah,
October,
I love that stuff.
Inktober.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
X-Men Tover or whatever you call it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love those. Yeah. And
Yeah,
he's been
awesome.
doing a lot of, yeah, lately. I saw his Batman and the Green Ranger ones. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
awesome, right? Yeah. Right.
My uncle. So my uncle introduced us to all this comic book stuff. My dad's youngest brother, and he was
Ah,
a great
yeah.
artist. Again, he didn't really push it. He done a lot of artwork as a kid, but he never really. I think the older generation, right? Similar to what your mom was saying, is kind of like there's no job in art.
Yeah.
So he kind of just,
Yeah.
he done his artwork, but it never took him. He never took it anywhere, and I don't think he was ever inspired by parents to take it. And then my older brother was really inspired, and he got into artwork. I got no talent for
Yeah.
it. I tried. I can't do shit. I tried. So I guess I'm not like it's not. I don't think it's genetic, but as you said, I think maybe you're like there's something genetic. I don't know because I can't
I
do
think it's
shit.
how your mind works, like how you perceive things with your eyes, like or how your hand goes through. Like I think what you have in your mind, the thing is what you want to draw, how it comes out on paper is when it's different and like I think just lately have I been whatever I imagine, I've been really trying getting it almost close to 100% on paper or something. I think that's where you start to feel like you have I would say yeah, like you said, talent or like ability to do it. Yeah, I think but it works differently on people, I guess. I don't know if you call that talent or just it's like how your mind works.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's everyone's individual superpower, you know what I mean? Like where the
Yeah,
brain
yeah.
coordinates in a certain way. I always say like you and as an artist, other artists
Yeah.
must have like a superpower of like visuals and stuff like that. Whereas I don't know, a
yeah.
cook must have like enhanced taste and smell abilities, and musicians
Yeah,
might have an
and
enhanced
musicians.
hearing. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't have any super. I'm shit at everything, but I just try. I just try.
Well, I think martial arts you're good at it.
Well, thank you for saying that, but I'm definitely not good. I
Yeah.
just come back. The only thing I do is I love it and I come back because I'm not very
Yeah.
gifted physical specimen or whatnot. I'm not an
Yeah.
athletic person at
Really?
all, but I love
Uh,
martial arts so much. It's the only sport that I've ever just came back to.
yeah.
Whereas any other sport, football, any ball sports, I am not coordinated at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also with martial art, as you mentioned previously, like because those games you have to play with a team, it just causes
Yeah.
conflict. So martial arts
Yeah.
is all
Yeah.
on me. But yeah, I'm definitely not good. I just love it. And training and
Yeah.
exercise, I just love it and I just do it.
Yeah.
And I just come
Yeah.
back. But I wish I was
Yeah.
good. I'm not good, man. But I
Yeah.
guarantee you I'll come back to the mats, even though I get beaten up every day. That's my one. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's a superpower, but that's my superpower that I will come back.
You found a gym in Dubai?
I haven't. I'm gonna find one when I get back. But I've seen a couple. There's a Nagura gym that they got here. The
Yeah.
Nagura brothers.
Right.
They got a gym here, and then
Ah,
there's
okay.
another one which is quite popular. I'm actually looking for like convenience of timetable. You know, because Evolve right was the best
Yeah.
timetable ever, and it's so
Yeah.
close.
Even late nights. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking for something like that because I
Hmm.
live quite far out, so I'm gonna have to drive in the morning. So I'm looking for something that has morning classes, but a bit of a mix like BJJ and MMA and Muay Thai. If I could do all of it, that would
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
great. So anyway, I've got a couple on my list. When I get back, I hope my shoulder will be like almost 100%, and then I could just get back into it.
Yeah. Take it slow, man. Take it slow.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but like as I was saying, bro, we need to join Zoom. Me and my brother were just being cheap at the moment. That's why we got to keep sending every 40 minutes, send another link.
It's like even at work in office we do this, we
Yeah,
gotta
really. I would think your
nobody
company
wants to
would.
pay for it.
I would think that your company
Nah,
would at least pay for it.
not really. They're still being cheap about it.
Oh, that's funny, man. Well, look, thank you
Yeah.
again. Thanks for jumping on. Apologize for the inconvenience and stuff. But
Oh
we
no,
were
man,
talking about.
I'm here all day. Yeah.
Awesome, bro. Well, we were talking about you know, the inspiration and whatnot.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, obviously you're into the comic book world, right? Marvel, DC. Are you into the
Yeah.
movies? Are you into the comic books, all that stuff? Did you used to read those comics when
Everything,
you were
yeah.
young? Yeah.
Yeah. I guess the primary inspiration is all from comics actually, and cartoons and all that. Because like Ninja Turtle is one thing, and then I guess in the 90s we got into X-Men.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
That
Saturday mornings
cartoon.
when the
Yeah.
theme song kicks in and you're like, let's
Yeah.
go and all that. Yeah, I guess that's where I start to we all draw. I mean, we draw. I think I started with Spider-Man mostly back then. I like all the I like the googly eyes and all that kind of thing. I don't know why, but like I don't know. Todd McFarlane is the one who drew the biggest eyes. He started to do that, and before that, it was like kind of the squinty ones. But yeah, since then, I think most of my inspiration comes from just drawing from comics, and X-Men and all that starts to get popular in the 90s. So yeah, those are the 90s stuff, I guess, when I start to really get into it. And I guess people stop drawing and all that when school is the education is like the priority with I guess Asian families are like that,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
yeah,
Mom and
they don't want
dad.
you to. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so yeah, I think comics is a big part of why I like to do this. And yeah, 90s was like that. Before we, start to get serious and all the dark, edgy stuff in the late 90s and 2000s, where I got like I got like these are Spawn comics
Okay,
where
yeah.
you like where you start to think that blood and gore and violence is the cool stuff to get into. So yeah, I guess that's how it transitioned. Um, and I don't, some of the inspiration, I think do you know H.R. Giger from Aliens and all that?
No,
Uh,
which one's that?
uh, the Alien movies, the designs are from this artist H.R. Giger or Geiger, I don't know how you pronounce the name, but he's a
Okay.
German artist. I think you might have seen it. It's like it's kind of the alien. I think the design from Aliens is actually inspired by his painting of this car with an elongated body and the head and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
So yeah, read this card. Just look at that and say, I want that to be the alien. Yeah, so that's quite a big inspiration for me. But if you see his art is a bit how do I call it? It's kind of raunchy and all that. It's like penises and vaginas and all that. I don't know what he's thinking about when he drew all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so that's one of the inspiration I got this back in the 90s, I guess.
Awesome.
Primary
I mean,
school, yeah,
that's the good thing
yeah,
about anything, right? Like it's like MMA, right? Mixed martial arts. I
yeah,
mean, art is the same way. You got so
yeah,
many different artists in so many different realms and perspectives and visuals and stories that they want to put in, whatever it
yeah,
is. And then it's just about
yeah,
what you as an individual like kind of like and feel inspired by, and then you
yeah,
apply
yeah,
it. You take all of that stuff and then apply it to your own artwork, which is yours. Like that Bruce Lee quote that I
yeah,
love, where it's like absorb what is useful, disregard what is
yeah,
not to you, and then
yeah,
apply what is for you uniquely. I
yeah.
butchered the quote, but it's something like that.
Yeah, I guess when you get older, as someone who likes to draw and you start to try to discard things that when you're getting into your teenage years, you start to discard those cutesy stuff and you think this is cool and edgy and all that. But I think as I get older, I take back all that, like whatever comes from my childhood, like I think Calvin and Hobbes. I think these are also my big inspiration.
Yeah,
Calvin and
awesome.
Hobbes. Bill Watterson has uh, it's like really cool landscapes and all that. I know he does the Calvin and Hobbes funny stuff like, but if you look at his art, it's very inspiring when he draws landscape of just the forest where he goes to, like Kevin and Hobbes go on their adventures and all that. So these kind of things I start. It's lucky that I kept some of this because I can look back and take back all the inspirations I got it from back when I was I don't know, primary school and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess yeah, you take what you like and discard, but sometimes those discarded pieces comes back to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you made a
Yeah,
great point because that's what a lot of people go through. Like when you go through those teenage ages,
yeah,
you want to do
yeah,
what's cool. You want to be popular. You want to be with the popular kids. You
yeah.
want
Like
girls to
Spawn.
like you. Yeah. I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
Like that's the same with all this comic book stuff. Like I used to love it as a kid, but as I got into school
yeah,
and whatnot, nobody was into it. So I was like, I don't want to talk about it
yeah,
much. Even I'm not
yeah,
even gonna
yeah,
lie. I think recently, like within the last say like 10 years, I really started
yeah,
expressing myself and
yeah,
admit like like being comfortable with what I like. But even when I first
yeah,
started work and all that sort of stuff in my early 20s, I still was
yeah,
embarrassed to be like, oh, I like this stuff, I'm going to watch this new movie or
yeah,
whatnot, because people make
yeah,
fun out of you. And but that's, which is totally fine. I think it's
yeah,
really being comfortable and being true to yourself. Again, another Bruce Lee quote: just always be true to yourself. And
yeah,
I
yeah,
think once I started becoming true to myself and started like expressing my like for what it is,
yeah,
like I started being more successful in life. I started being confident in life. I started,
yeah,
things change. But the more you try to like be like everyone else, like
yeah,
it'll mess you up. It won't take you far. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like to impress
And
people
now,
that don't
yeah,
really care. Like end of the day, like I was always like it was one advice that was given to me when I was young, but it still took years and I still work on it. It's like not giving a shit about what other people think. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Yes, loved
yeah,
ones will tell you stuff because they love you and they want to tell you stuff that will help you. But other people
yeah,
who don't pay for your bills or who don't pay, like if
yeah,
you, God forbid, you get hit by a bus, they won't give a shit about you, right? Forget those people because they're the ones who talk the
yeah,
most about what you might know. So like but it's a part of the natural human mind that you do consider their thoughts. But I work on that every day to be like, fuck those people. You know what I mean? Like, not like fuck them, I don't hate them, but fuck their opinion. I'm gonna do what I love and what I do. So it's a great point that you made.
Plus you have the money now to buy things that you wish you had it when you were younger. Like I see that fan castle there at the back.
Yeah, man.
Oh man.
Frank Castle's my guy. I got all of these. Like, these are my guys. If my father found out how much I paid for this, he'll probably slap me. I mean, he's cool with what I do, but you made a great point, man. Because like I could never afford this back in the days, obviously, and my father would never buy me this stuff. But now I have the money. Like, I want it. Like, I don't want to waste my money. Don't get me wrong, but I definitely want to.
You do. You buy things that you love, right? I mean, nobody's gonna say anything is your money. Then I got some Punisher stuff here.
Yes, you got the Punisher Max and the War Journals. Okay.
I love the Warzone one. Punisher Max. I think these are the good runs. I think.
Yeah.
One of them, I think it was close to the movie. It's not a really. I mean, there are two movies, but they're both kind of but it's still enjoyable.
Yes, exactly.
I like the ultra violent ones, the one that he punched the guy's face and he just kind of explode through the guy. I love those stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I'm as you know, I'm a huge Punisher fan, so I buy all these comics. Well, not when I tried to buy all of his ones, if there's anything. I know I enjoy the movies. Like, yes, they're not great, but I enjoy them for what they are. But that violent one, even though it wasn't good, it was Punisher. He just did what Punisher did, which is just kill anyone who's a bad guy.
I think he's the perfect. What's his name? Ray Stevenson or something like that. I think he's perfect for that. Like, he's just big and you look at him, you're not gonna mess with him. And he just punches people's face off.
I remember that first scene where he just like cut the dude's head off, the mafia boss's head off, and I was like, this is going to be a good one. But I loved John Bethnal is my Punisher, and I really comes back in Phase 5 because I would love. When I read the Punisher comics, I geek out more. Like, not because because of his ways. I love him because he's a military guy and stuff. But I geek out where he has that respect for, like, one, he never wants to kill innocent people, and he always, you know, if he does do it by accident, he goes into this depression mode. But two, it's the respect he has for, like, Captain America and all the military War Machine and whatnot. I love that stuff. So I always wanted to see a scene in the movies with, like, John Bethnal's Punisher with, you know, the new Captain America or something, just to kind of like, that would be sick. I mean, that's what I want to see.
One thing I like about, I think the current ones, he's kind of recognized himself as being a bit of a psycho, like vigilante with violence and guns and all that. I don't know if they can bring it back. You know, Disney is a bit scared of doing all this.
I read something yesterday. I read something yesterday that Deadpool is going to be the first R-rated Disney. So it's going to be violent. So if they could do it with Deadpool, they could bring a style back with, you know, Punisher and Daredevil and whatnot.
I think they won't. Even Daredevil, they kind of make him a bit. If you see the Netflix one, you know, Kingpin was decapitating someone with the car door and all that kind of stuff. I don't know whether you see Charlie Cox came back for
She-Hulk.
Daredevil. He's more of an enjoyable character, but I hope they don't make him all the way like that and bring him back to the Netflix.
I agree. I mean, I don't think they can go all the way to the Netflix, but I think they could find a middle ground.
I like him. I like him smiling a bit.
I think it was good. I feel like, you know, because he can be an enjoyable character, right? So you put him in She-Hulk, right? And he can be that enjoyable guy. But then when he comes to his own show, I hope that they bring it more back to the Netflix. Maybe not to the whole way, but more darker, more, you know, because at the end of the day, in those shows, like, nothing, when you saw those Netflix shows, he was in Hell's Kitchen. It was just bad shit going on, right? So he
Yeah,
was in
yeah,
this aggressive mood and whatnot. Whereas in
yeah.
She-Hulk, it was more like jolly sort of environment.
Yeah,
So
he
he
was in San
expresses,
Francisco,
yeah.
yeah.
So you know what I mean. So I reckon like when they do his own show, they're gonna
Yeah.
take him back, but not completely. But I don't think he's gonna be this jolly guy that we saw in She-Hulk.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about Kingpin. Like, if you watch him in Hawkeye, Hawkeye is a bit, I don't know, he doesn't have that danger with, like, you look at him in the Netflix shows, it's like he's dangerous and he's a bit of a, I don't know, it's not physical, it's more like his presence, you know what I mean?
mm,
So in Hawkeye, it's like he was wearing a Hawaiian shirt for some reason and trying to do punching stuff. I don't know, he's like a bad villain. You know, Marvel has a bit of a problem with villains. I think lately is all right, I think, but some of the villains are just forgettable, like the Thor Dark World, or like
yeah,
nobody
agreed.
remembers that
Agreed,
one.
agreed. I think
Yeah,
that Kingpin, like I agree, he was one of Marvel's best villains. I mean, including the Netflix or whatnot. He's definitely one of them.
yeah.
And that actor, I can't remember his name, but he does it so good.
Vincent D'Onofrio. Yeah,
Yes, yeah, he does it
yeah.
so good. And again, he's my Kingpin, so I definitely want to see him back. I mean, look, that Hawaiian shirt thing, I think it was from a specific run. There was a comic book
Yeah,
where
I remember.
yeah,
Yeah,
so I think it was
but
from
it's
that.
just, yeah.
I think the
I,
nature of the
I
show. I reckon when he's
yeah,
in Echo, when he's in the Daredevil show, it's gonna be
yeah,
different. You know what I mean? Like I think they're gonna adapt them to certain environments. When you read a comic book, you read a Punisher Max comic, and you're like, this is violent and
yeah,
gritty. And then you might see Punisher in one of the Spider-Man comics, and he's not as
yeah,
gritty. I think it's been one of those sort of
yeah.
things for the movies, how they're
And
gonna
there
do it.
was one time he's even in a blackface, like trying to, I don't know. It's a weird
Who's that
time.
Punisher? Oh,
Yeah, if you
was
try
it
to
this?
Google it.
Was it this one or was it some
No,
blackface
he
like
was,
black
as
dude?
in he was trying to blend into the
Oh
urban crowd,
shit, they definitely can't do
He,
that anymore.
yeah,
This must have
you
been
try
back
to
in the
Google it.
days.
It's like, yeah, back in the day when nobody says anything.
I need
Now
to
it's
check
like,
that out.
yeah, just Google it. It's kind of uncomfortable to
Boy,
read.
that will get
Yeah,
cancelled one
yeah,
time
that was
straight away. I'm
yeah,
surprised
not
somebody
now,
doesn't
not
on
now.
Twitter bring it up and say we need to cancel Punisher because he done blackface back in the days.
Yeah, you did
Well, I
blackface.
mean,
Yeah,
they changed his logo, right? They changed his logo because there was a couple. I
yeah.
mean, I don't know, some right wing guys or whatever were wearing the Punisher logo doing
I
some
think,
shit.
yeah, I
I
think that,
was
yeah,
upset by that. That upset me, man, because I mean, I've been reading the new comics and
that's
it's
his
still violent.
icon.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah,
him. That's his uniform. Don't
yeah,
it doesn't relate to no right wing people. It's the Punisher. But I've been
yeah,
reading the new runs, and he's still him. He's still very violent and does what he does, and he has his code of justice and whatnot. That nothing of
yeah.
that has changed, but the new logo will never be. It will never be the same. It will never be the same.
Yeah, I mean, I think because I think some law enforcement and military were using it, and like I don't know, it was a symbol for them, but you don't let them take that thing away from you. Just
Exactly.
because they do that, you don't need to disown everything about it.
It's a crazy
I
world that
don't
we
know,
live
it's
in,
just,
man. Even
yeah,
a comic book world will have to change because of the politics and all
yeah,
that
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
that's crazy. What other stuff like has inspired you? I know you had a couple of things that you wanted to
Yeah, I think, okay, the big inspiration, I wouldn't this is do you read fables? I think um in the 2000s I start to read a lot of DC Vertigo books, like
okay.
this ones like I think these are all DC Vertigo, Why the Last Man, and 100 Bullets, and all the Neil Gaiman stuff, and Watchmen and all that kind of stuff.
I've
So
seen Watchmen, but I'm not
yeah,
familiar with the others, to be honest.
yeah. So DC Vertigo, I don't even know if they're still around. I think they're no longer under DC. I think maybe not. But they have this Fables comics. Um, I admittedly I don't really read much of it. I just like the covers. So like this is one of the covers. I think this what's it called? 1001 Nights or something. I like this like just a one-off run, you know, like I can read this without knowing anything about it. So the cover artist is called James Jean. I don't know if you know James Jean, but that's one of my biggest inspiration as an artist. And he does a lot of these covers. He does a lot of even movie posters, I think he does. And he's I think one of the best artists that I've known currently. I think it's Taiwanese American or something like that. So yeah, we got this book. Sorry, I got a lot of stuff to
No,
show
that's
you.
cool, man. Yeah, I want to see
Yeah.
it, man.
So
Appreciate you
yeah,
kind of getting them all together.
this is like a collection of all the cover arts he does. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, since I don't
I
know
can
whether you
see
can
I can see
see.
the inspiration in your work and in some of those.
Yeah, I mean these are his kind of his early works and all that. He even has like sketches of it. So yeah, James Jean, if you can check him out, it's I mean we don't need to give him exposure because I think he's world famous now. uh Recently I think he did the poster for Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, which just came out. I watched it yesterday night and I was like tearing up and
The one that
yeah,
came out on Disney?
not Disney. The Disney one is kind of rubbish. I
Disney
don't
one is
even
the
know why
old is
they.
the original one. So this is a different
Yeah,
one?
yeah, it's on Netflix. By Guillermo del Toro. You
Okay,
know
okay.
the yeah. You should check it out.
I
It's
will, yeah, I'll put it on the list.
yeah. It's oh man, it's kind of heartbreaking and touching and all. I was like, I was on the couch trying not to like tear up, but
Have you
yeah,
noticed the older you get, the more emotional you get? Like I'm so emotional these
yeah.
days. But I watched Black Panther
I
2. I don't
know.
know if you've seen it, and
Oh yeah.
had me in tears by the end of the movie. I'm not much of a crier, right? I could generally hold
Oh
it
right,
in.
right.
That movie killed me, bro. By the end of that movie, and obviously because of the real life situation, Chadwick Boseman passed
Yeah.
away, it
Yeah.
just got me. And I started just my wife was just like trying to comfort me. I was just like, what the hell's going on, man? I'm not like, literally tearing up.
Well, yeah, I didn't. I mean, yeah, I felt a bit, but I wasn't like bawling or anything. I watched it alone because no one's available, so I kind of watched it alone. And this there was someone beside me. I don't blame him. He has Tourette's, you know. He
Uh-huh.
was like twitching and making sounds and all that.
Okay,
So
okay.
when there's like moments of silence, you know, those emotional scenes, and he's on my right side, kind
So kind
of,
of distracting a little bit. Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
I
yeah.
wasn't distracting, but it's like, oh man, like he was uh he was just there, you know. But it's fine. I guess he needs to watch it too.
Yeah, yeah, of
Yeah,
course, yeah.
but yeah, I do get emotional the older I get. I don't know
Yeah.
why. Daddy issues, maybe, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Same here. I don't know what it is. I could watch a commercial and get freaking emotional. I'm like, why am I getting emotional from this freaking commercial?
Yeah,
um,
I think Guardians of the Galaxy had like really emotional scenes. It's like the Yondu scenes are like, oh man, I don't
Agreed.
know. It's
That part too, because even though some people might not have enjoyed that movie, and no, the thing is, me and my brother talk about it all the time. Right? Not all the movies are great. I just enjoy them for
yeah,
what they are. Some of them are
yeah,
amazing. Some of them actually shit. Like I always
yeah,
talk about She-Hulk. I've been shitting on She-Hulk a lot. Like a lot. I have,
yeah.
unfortunately, but I
Yeah,
still watched it. I still watched it, and I still will watch season 2, 3, 4 because I just enjoy what it is. Even though I could say, yeah, it's not great, but I could just enjoy it for what
yeah,
it is. But they have impactful moments like Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Now, you might not enjoy the movie, but that moment with
yeah,
Yondu
right.
and your father, like that was emotional, man. And that's an impactful
Yeah,
moment that you would miss if you just like, oh, this is shit. I'm not gonna watch it. You'll miss that
yeah,
impactful moment.
yeah. I mean, I think even Thor Ragnarok had those, but I don't know why they did the Love and Thunder like that. It's too much into
Too
the
much.
jokey part.
Yeah,
Yeah,
agreed.
but yeah, that's the one thing. Because if you know the director Taika
Yeah.
Waititi, yeah. Have you seen Jojo Rabbit?
Yes. Yes. That's a good movie.
Yeah, there was one heart-wrenching scene in there. I don't want to give anything away, but if anyone haven't watched it yet, but you know those things that he brought to Thor Ragnarok, but I don't know why Thor Love and Thunder is like
Went too far. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
the balance was shifted all the way to comedy. Like everything was comedy.
yeah. And
Even when
Christian Bale gave it everything he has, but he's in the wrong
yeah,
movie, I guess.
it was just a
Yeah,
bit too much. I mean, I see, and I think I don't know. I tried to justify the movie myself and be like, oh, maybe that's how Thor is dealing with his loss because he's lost everyone. But it was
yeah,
just way too much. I mean, and you had Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher, and he was awesome. But we didn't get
yeah,
enough of him.
yeah,
And the movie that there again, it was a comedy movie. I kept on saying that it's Marvel's comedy movie, and
yeah.
Thor is now
Marvel
Marvel's
had
comedy.
this, yeah, they have this formula of you get emotional scenes, but immediately they cut the tension to a joke, which
Mm.
I don't think they need to follow that formula all the time. Even the games and all that, they start to follow that kind of everything is a joke, you know, everything needs to have a line or two of something that cuts the tension, but I don't you don't need those, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Oh,
I think some characters, you know, certain movies, yeah, you get a good balance. Some of them you get less comedy and whatnot, but some of them, like the Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, they just went a complete. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy suits it, to be honest with you. Thor just went
yeah,
too
yeah,
far. That one
too
was the
much.
one that they went too far. I think it's like no, that was, especially the storyline of God the Good God Butcher and all that stuff. Like they, you
I
kind of ruined that
yeah,
character too, in a way.
yeah, I love the opening of it. I thought that is they should have stayed like that and not I don't know. I mean they enjoyed it too much or what.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, look,
Yeah,
I've heard rumors that Marvel said that they're gonna start because of all the feedback of Phase 4, they're gonna focus
yeah,
more on quality over quantity because it was all about
yeah,
quantity, right? We've got so much things coming out, which is great. I
yeah,
want you if they bring them out, I'm watching it. But the
yeah,
quality, man, I feel like they're losing. I don't feel like they're losing it, but they definitely stepped down a little bit in the quality, and that's what we
yeah,
want,
yeah.
really.
Yeah, there's one thing like when Disney acquired Fox, right? And Deadpool, X-Men and all that. It, if it's under Disney all the way, we wouldn't have gotten Deadpool. We wouldn't have gotten Logan. You know, the movies that are kind of standalone away from the formula. I hope they stick it to like that, like the tone and the mood of it. And I think is Wolverine coming back or something,
He's
right?
coming
For
back for
Deadpool?
Deadpool. He's coming back for Deadpool.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we'll
yeah.
see.
I don't know. After Logan is yeah another movie where I cried a lot.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
That's this.
after
I've
Logan,
I've
I
only cried at three
I
movies now. Logan was another one, Black Panther, and the other one was Green
oh,
Mile. But yeah, yeah, carry on.
I have much more than you. Yeah, even Forrest Gump. Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
No,
Wait,
I think they'll do Wolverine. Look, I think everyone has that concern. I do think
yeah.
Marvel. Like, did you watch what's that thing the Halloween one? Was it Werewolf by Night? Did you watch that?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
now if you looked at that now, it was different a little bit, but they had some gore in it. Like they had some blood and heads getting chopped off and whatnot. So I think that
yeah,
was Marvel's sort of introduction to like, we're gonna have some violence now. This is an
yeah,
introduction to some of the violence that we're doing. Now it was a bit of black and white-ish and whatnot.
yeah. They can get away with that.
Yeah, but I think they'll slowly go into it. And again, if you see Deadpool with I don't know, just say She-Hulk or Spider-Man, he might not be as
Yeah,
violent, but when he's in his own thing with
yeah,
Wolverine, then they'll make a violent one. So I think they're gonna like, the character's gonna adapt based on where they are. So I reckon you'll get a violent Deadpool 3. I hope so. And then if you
yeah.
ever see him with Spider-Man, they're gonna just tone down the violence and the swearing and stuff. So just like the comic books,
Okay.
like I got these Deadpool versus and Spider-Man comics, and he's just a clown in it, right? Whereas you have
Yeah,
this
yeah,
separate,
yeah,
then I've got a Punisher versus Punisher and Deadpool comic, and that's just pure violence and swearing, and Deadpool getting his head
Yeah.
chopped up. So it's always
Yeah,
going to
it depends
depend.
on the setting, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So I hope they don't just follow the Disney formula. I think they did it for Iron Man and it works, and they just kind of ran with it for this whole franchise. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I hope they kind of realize something, because I think they're doing Secret Wars. Have you read that one?
Yeah. I've read
The,
Secret Wars. Yeah.
yeah, it's most like all the like multiverse all just exploding, and just it's actually just cleaning up the franchise, right? Because they have all this what was that Ultimate Marvel and all that kind of thing was all gone. And they
Mm.
just reduced to one. So I don't know. I guess I hope they just explore more than what they really have.
Let's see what we
Yeah.
get. I mean, look, we're gonna get Ant-Man, and finally you're gonna see more of Kang the Conqueror. I mean, because I think
Yeah.
Marvel, yes, they have this formula, and it can get boring or whatever. But the one thing that keeps everyone, or keeps me to watch anything and everything they do, is this universe that they've created, because it all links.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the one
Yeah.
attractive, because if you, like, for example, if I didn't watch She-Hulk, then I would never have seen Daredevil in it. I would never have seen the little um Easter eggs of Wolverine being mentioned and all these little things, right? So that's
Yeah.
what keeps me going and watching all of them. So they got me now and whatnot. But it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see what they do with Kang the Conqueror. I mean, he appeared in Loki, or the He Who Remains or whatnot appeared in Loki. In Ant-Man, we're
Yeah.
gonna see the next big boss, right? We're gonna see the Thanos of this thing, and we're gonna see how that is, because this Ant-Man trailer, it looks like you see Ant-Man
Oh,
bleeding and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it feel like he's
oh
getting
no, I don't.
emotional.
I don't know. I make a point not to. I mean, I
Sorry,
nowadays
did
I
I
just
just
watch
spoil
it.
something for you?
No,
Oh
it's
my God.
okay. Is he bleeding?
You don't
No,
watch trailers then? You don't watch any trailers?
I watch. I allow myself one teaser trailer, and anything beyond that is just not for me, because it's for the general audience to me.
Got it,
So
got it, got it.
yeah, it's hard to avoid,
You're
but
good.
yeah, teaser
You're good.
trailer.
You know
Yeah,
what? I tell you something. I tell you something. Which movie was it? Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange was
yeah,
after that movie, I stopped watching trailers as much. I still watch them because I'm so like I want to see them. But after,
yeah.
because Doctor Strange annoyed me, man, because they showed the biggest thing in the movie. The Professor X and all this sort of stuff. They showed it in
Oh
the
yeah,
trailer. They
I
should have hid that.
avoided it.
Yeah, so you're lucky
Really?
you did. They showed it all in the trailer, all of it. And I was just like, that was shit that they showed in the trailer. So after that movie, I
Oh
stopped
man.
watching trailers as much. But I need to do, it's so hard because I'm on Instagram and all that shit. Like I see all the trailers
Yeah.
and I just want to,
Ah yeah, yeah.
it's,
Cause yeah, in the cinema, when you see the wheelchair come up and you
yes,
hear the X-Men theme playing, I'm like, oh
yes.
fuck, they didn't really get him. And I mean, it was a surprise to me. I can't imagine if you already knew that, how that would like kind of spoil the mood, I think,
Yeah, or you
or the
just expect
surprise.
more. You would expect more because, like, you knew that was going to happen because they put it in the trailer. So I thought, okay, if that's in the trailer, I can't even imagine what they're going to give me in the
Yeah,
movie. But in the movie,
yeah,
really, that was the big thing. So I was like, how could you spoil the big thing in the trailer? That was just
yeah,
so
yeah,
stupid. That was rubbish. For me, I was like, that was rubbish. So since then, I try to avoid trailers, but I can't.
yeah.
I don't watch them
I
as
think
much,
yeah.
especially.
Teaser trailers are okay because you want to know how things look like. Like you're so curious about like Kang the Conqueror or something like that. So you can watch that one, and anything beyond that is I think it's spoils too much. Or 3 minutes trailers are like
Too
they're
much.
showing everything. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
need that.
I
Yeah.
definitely avoid all the TV spots and all that stuff. I
Ah
avoid
yeah,
that. So I don't
those
touch
are
none of
too.
those
Yeah.
anymore at all.
I think those are
Um,
not for us. We already make up our mind to watch it.
oh
I think
yeah,
those are
yeah.
for people who don't even know what's going on. So
Yeah,
you're like,
that's true.
oh, it's yeah,
The thing
yeah,
is,
yeah,
I would watch it if tomorrow they said there's a new whatever Avengers, I'll go watch it. You've already got me, but so I don't need to see a
yeah,
trailer. I'm
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
A new Batman movie, whatever, I'm in. But yeah, I mean, of
Uh,
course, they got the marketing that they need to do, so that's just natural that they're gonna do. But I need to
yeah,
do better on
yeah,
avoiding trailers, man. One thing I have done though was 2 weeks before, a week at least before any new movie comes out, I
yeah,
don't go on any social media. I delete. I mean, my Dubai phone,
yeah.
I don't even have Instagram, Facebook at all. I done a thing not to even download that stuff. Um, this phone is my old Singapore phone, and it's just Wi-Fi only. So it has it on this, but I just kind of leave it aside and don't
All
look at
right,
it,
all right.
especially in the last week before a movie comes out, because that's when all the
Yeah,
spoilers
go on
come
a, like
out.
a media blackout or
You
something.
have to, man, because all the
Yeah,
spoilers and everything come out. It's annoying.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's hard to avoid nowadays, but you can do. I still do it. I think there was one movie, Joaquin Phoenix in Her. You know that movie,
Great movie, yeah.
Her. Her. Yeah, that's the first movie where I come in cold without knowing anything other than that's him in the poster. I don't know what's the story, what's the plot, whoever's in it. So that's one of the best movies I ever watched because of that. Like
Yes, yeah,
I
yeah.
knowing nothing, yeah. And then you just trust the filmmakers to tell you a story, right? Because I think trailers are not those are made by the studios and all that kind. So you don't you're gonna have to trust someone to tell you a story without telling you what is it about and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
So I guess that's my philosophy when it comes to movies and all that. I know it's a bit too much, but
No,
that's
it's
what I
good
like.
though. I mean, that we
Yeah,
we're movie lovers, and we want to, like, the reason why we go to cinema to watch anything and everything is you want to get
yeah,
lost in a story, right? But if that
yeah,
story's already been spoiled by a 2 minute, 3 minute trailer, then you're like, well, I'm not gonna really be lost in this story no more because I know
yeah,
what's gonna happen.
yeah. Because if you know Christoph Waltz in Django Unchained, I
Hmm.
think one of the interviewers asked him, "What's your character like?" And then he said, "No, I'm not gonna tell you anything. I'm not gonna talk about it because that's not his job. Because if you go in with a preconceived notion of what his character is supposed to be, and then you don't really know. I mean, you go in and you already know what is supposed his
What
arc
to
and all that kind
expect?
of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I guess he's right about that. You let the story tell you what is it, not another actor or trailer
Yeah.
to tell you about it. Yeah,
Agreed. I mean,
yeah.
it's a business, so they have to do the marketing and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
It's
right.
up to us as individuals to
Yeah,
avoid that stuff as much as possible. I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
too, yeah, I need to do better because I'm in tune with social media and all that
Yeah,
bullshit, and I'm just like, oh,
yeah.
like the new
uh,
Spider-Man, Spider-Verse trailer came
oh
out, and
yeah,
I was
I
like,
didn't watch that.
I have to. I mean, I'm too like, I
Yeah,
gotta see it.
because I watched the teaser back then. There was the 2099
Yes, yeah, yeah,
the one with the Oscar Isaac. I think
yeah.
he's that character. Yeah, I just saw a glimpse of that in the teaser. That's it. I'm good for the next few
Yeah.
months until the
Yeah,
movie comes out.
don't watch this. Don't watch this. I
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I just can't help it, to be honest with you.
I know
Yeah.
you and your brother have it's kind of your thing. You have to
We
watch it, but
yeah, we do the reactions and then we talk about it as
yeah,
well. So I mean, I guess we
yeah.
kind of, but we try to avoid it sometimes as well. Like I
Oh
said,
yeah,
no
yeah.
TV spots. I don't touch those at all.
Oh yeah, TV
Um,
spot.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
uh,
but
yeah. Wait, how long have we have? Like,
we've
do
only got 3 minutes
we have
left
time?
again, bro. Like, do you know what's
Oh
interesting? I
man,
mean, you started off saying that you was an introvert and whatnot, and then we just because we have a passion of something, you could talk hours
oh
about
yeah.
it.
I just have to. Wait, is this the end of the podcast or are we continuing some more?
I do have a call I'm gonna jump on now, a work one,
Oh
but
okay.
we could do another one in the future.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. People don't really share this much. Saga, this comic.
I'm not familiar with that
Uh,
now.
yeah. You should read it, man. I think you will love it. I know the Marvel and DC stuff is big, but I think this comic saga, if you have the chance to just read through it, and I think this is my favorite comic of all time actually. So Yeah,
Interesting.
just give it a look.
Well, I tell you what, bro, let's catch up again soon. We'll do another one and let's talk about this saga.
Yeah, yeah,
Also, I want
yeah,
to
yeah.
talk to you about some comic book shops in Singapore and stuff like that, and yeah,
Yeah.
getting your artwork out there and whatnot. But yeah, let's do that
Oh,
again.
yeah.
Look, I'm going back to London on Sunday. When I maybe from London or
Oh,
when I get back to Dubai in the new year, we'll definitely catch up again anyway, bro.
yeah, yeah,
I
sure,
really
sure.
enjoyed this conversation. I know we always again communicated through jiu-jitsu and talk them, but I
Yeah,
really
we already
enjoyed
do
this
this
conversation. Yeah, man.
in the changing room.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool, brother. Well, look, let's
yeah,
catch up again. Thank you again for your time, and
yeah,
thank you for sharing with us and geeking out with us about your
yeah, sure.
artwork and your
Good to see
inspirational
you too,
stuff.
man.
You
Yeah,
too, brother. We'll catch up soon.
yeah.
Yeah.